I have my next A-race goal in about 15 weeks. Well, that's how long's left at the time of filming. By the time this comes out, it'll probably be a lot less. But what's the plan? What am I going to do that'll help get me there? Before I get into that, I want to show you this screenshot. Based on the different times I'd be interested in doing, that's the sort of power that I need to put out. In an ideal world, I'd love to go sub 130. Now that's a 16-minute drop from my current PB of 146. Now, as you can see from Stride, in order to do that, I need to do 400 watts. Now, it's a lot higher than what I can currently do, which is about 335. Based on all that, here are the 6 things that I plan on doing that will take me to that next level. The base foundation of all good training plans is a long run. What I've learned over the last year is that more long runs I can do, and the longer those long runs I can do, the better I go. From the start of August, every week I'll be doing a long run that is over the half distance. That's 3 months of half marathons before I even get to my half marathon. Now, this long run that I'm filming on is, well, not sure what you guys can see, horrendously foggy. But I'm doing about 2 hours and 15 minutes today. Now, it's not quite going to be the half distance. It'll be 320k. But that's still well beyond the time that I'm aiming to do in Canberra in November. Between now and I expect to do over 20 long runs over the half marathon distance, and maybe, let's say, half of them will have some work, some bit of intensity. What I learned in my marathon build and my marathon block back in April was that not only do you need to be able to run the time, so in my case I need to run 90 minutes, but you also need to be able to run the distance, which in this case, 21k. If you can't run the time and the distance, how can you expect to perform? The more I can train and perfect both the time and the distance, the better it'll be overall, and the closer I'll get to my long-term goals. In my last build, I wasn't able to optimize my training. I've talked about it extensively on this channel, but back in February, I got an Achilles injury and it absolutely destroyed my training. Now that's changing this block. We're adding back in the intensity. Now, I don't believe in doing VO2 max work. Maybe if your goal is like a 1500 or a 5k, sure, that's what you need to be focusing on. But for something like the half marathon or the marathon, even for the pros, doing a half marathon in about an hour, that's still an aerobic race. So the focus is threshold. And so that's what I'm focusing on in this block. My big focus is threshold, getting my 1 hour pace, my 1 hour power to be as big as possible. Now, there's 2 ways that you can increase your threshold. You can either push it up, work under your threshold by doing easy runs, tempo work, and sweet spot work. And that pushes it up and makes your easy runs even easier. But the other way, which seems to be the preferred way for most people, and that I disagree with, is you pull it up by working above your threshold, working at like your VO2 max and your anaerobic. I've talked before about the benefits of sprint interval training. Now that's something I'm bringing back into my training this block. Now, I won't be doing it on every run, but at the end of every easy, long run, I'll be doing a set of 5 by 20 seconds, all out. At the moment, for me, that's about 330 per K on the hills, a bit fast on the flats. But I'm expecting that the more I do it, the better I'll get at it, and the faster I'll go when I full send. Now, there are three main benefits to doing this sort of training. The first is I guess my body used to actually pushing at that sort of level. It's like, okay, we've done this before, we can do it again. The second is you get more efficient. The more you spend at a specific intensity, the better you get at it. And then finally, because it's at the end of an easy long run, my body knows, okay, you've done all this work, you're fatigued, how hard can we go now? And so it's working on all of these different aspects, pushing me faster. Now, I'm taking two different approaches to strength training in this build. I have something I do every single day, but it's body weight. So for example, I do about 500 double calf raises, 5 sets of 100. I talked in a previous video about how I wanted to do about 1,000 calf raises a day. Now, I did that for a little while, but I think I just got massive fatigue, too much fatigue overload. And so it's probably, and while I can do that a couple of days a week, I don't think it wasn't practical, especially with my commute and my work, to do 1,000 a day every single day. So scaled it back a little bit. Not a lot. 500 calf raises a day, it's still a ton, but it's definitely something I'm a big fan of. Now, the premise behind the daily strength sessions is to be essentially in like the strength equivalent of zone 1, zone 2. Building up that base, strengthening the muscles, working on those slow twitch fibers, getting them to a level that they can perform at a high level without actually, over fatiguing and resulting in using those more bigger, more energy intensive strength zones. And it means that when I'm running, I can run faster for less output. Now, weight loss or body recomposition has been a running theme on this channel. When I started this running journey in January of 2025, I was about 98 kilograms. Now, by March, it had gone up to about 100. I've managed to drop it down a bit. It's about 93 kilos at the moment, but it should be lighter. It's about 91 kilograms just before Easter. And then, about Easter, all the chocolate. And then we went on a cruise. And it's like, you're already paying for it, might as well eat it. So, went from 91 to 94. And then I'm back on the downward trend. Now, my diet doesn't really change too much on a day-to-day basis. It's pretty stagnant. The only real reason I was able to get down to 91 was because of the 100k weeks I was doing in January and February. Now then, obviously, step back a bit, as I mentioned earlier, and I'm still definitely not there. I'm probably close to 60 to 70k weeks now. But it makes you think, if I can't train my way out of the weight, what do I have to remove from my diet to get that same effect? Now, there's two main things that I always focus on. Make sure my 2 grams of protein per day, so I have about 180 grams of protein each day. And also in training, I make sure I have about 90 grams of carbs per hour. Now, that's non-negotiable, but it's everything else. That's what's up for grabs. While making sure to fuel correctly and focus on recovery, I'm hoping that by reducing calories just slightly, I can get under 90 kilograms for Canberra and give me a little bit of a speed boost. I'm in a little bit of let's call it consolidation phase. And so for now, I'm going to focus on that recovery, focus on that consolidation, focus on getting that base as strong and resilient as possible to be able to be the fastest at going easy. Now, if I push and increase my easy runs from the current 6:30 down to 4:30. Bear in mind, that's the same. I increased it from 8:30 down to 6:30. That's 2 minutes per K. 6:30 to 4:30, again, 2 minutes per K. Now, if I did that, I'd just be digging myself a massive hole. I'd be absolutely burnt out. It's just not something I can continue year over year. And so I want to be as efficient as possible at the whole spectrum of pacing. I don't just want to be efficient when going fast, when I need to. But when the pace slows a bit, let's say there's a bit of tactics going on in the field, you got to be able to maintain your efficiency. And that's what I want to be able to capitalize when others are struggling. And so those are my 6. That's the 6 focuses on for the next 4 months. Is there anything you guys think I've missed? Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.